What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for another transfer show. And Nico is in total control of the club's transfer window, apparently, because if he's not moving, nothing is moving. That's basically the news. And the thing is, he wants to move to Atletico. Atletico want Nico Gonzalez to move. However, they are struggling to move out a player like we are struggling, so they can move out and move on, and sign Nico Gonzalez. Help them because they want Nico. Help us because we want Nico out so we can sign other players. So right now, Nico is in control, and it's frustrating everyone at the club. And it's not his own fault because he wants to leave, but that is kind of the situation. Unless he wakes up and he's like, I don't want to move again, then well, all of this is pointless. That the Arthur news is also, he's out, but he's not out. O'Reilly update and the Douglas Luiz numbers are coming out, and they do not look good at all. Before we get into it, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's give it a go. Okay, so the Nico story in a nutshell. Agreement in place with Atletico between the player and the club. That's not an issue. We knew that. He wants to join. Atletico want him. We also know that. If you need to read between the lines from the reports, a deal between Juve and Atletico is not difficult to reach. They know what we want. They know probably what Atletico will offer, and they will work around it. The issue is, like us, they need to move out a player before they can make that Nico move. And that's coming from many sources. Now, they might find a solution without moving a player out, but they're looking to decide to move out Charlotte. And it's not about position right now. It's literally getting people off the books, like when it comes to us in that situation. But they're struggling. They're struggling like we are struggling. It's holding up their window. It's holding up our window. It's holding up a lot of things. Do the club want Zegrova? They want Zegrova because there's agreement. He wants to join us, but he can wake up and he's like, guys, you might need another week or so to figure it out. And then I have 2 days left in the window. And if that doesn't happen, Marseille might say, well, buddy, you wanted us. We waited. Now you're letting us wait, and we're done. We're moving out to somebody else. And you end up in a situation where Zegrova is gone, for example. So things need to move up. It's not in our hands, but it's this late, and you're left with no choice than to hope things will get figured out. But right now, Nico is in control by default, even though he never asked to be in control of any situation. He is indeed right now. Next one, O'Reilly. Interesting one, because it kind of reminds me of Douglas Luiz a little bit, because the news is Comolli wants O'Reilly, and I was like, you don't need to coach O'Reilly Comolli. Does Tudor want O'Reilly? Does Tudor think O'Reilly is a must? Or does he think I can use Miretti, get me a defender, get me a backup for Cambiasso, maybe get me a backup for Yildiz? I don't know. Is O'Reilly really needed? That's the tricky one when it's not even the sporting director, but he's acting like one right now, wants a player. Does a coach want the player? That's the most important thing. That with everything, that is important, especially when you're paying a player 30 million euro potentially from Brighton. I still don't think he's like, I don't see it happening for some reason, but I can be completely wrong. But are you going to spend 30 million euros on a player from Brighton where the coach is like, I don't really need him, I'm not really a fan of him? And on top of that, there is the injury concern as well, so you can take that risk potentially again, but do you need to take that risk? Isn't it better to actually move in a different direction when it comes to spending the Douglas Luiz funds, even though we have no funds? Because the Douglas Luiz numbers, by the way, are awful. We're getting 3 million euros for the loan, 25 for the obligation, 25, and 3.5 million reached based on sporting merit. So all in all, we might get 31 million and a half, but let's say we are getting 28 million, and that's, oh my God, I cannot describe how bad of a deal that is. Selling to the Premier League, selling a player who played extremely well in the Premier League. Yeah, had an off season, but to lose half the money after 1 year, it's horrible negotiation. It's horrible business. Even though Comolli didn't sign him, that's still terrible business. I'm not gonna lie, it really stinks. We need to be honest with that. And on top of that, you're gonna reinvest that money completely on O'Reilly when I think it's a massive, massive risk, because you can end up in a situation like this. That guy Arthur to Gremio on loan, so he's back next season, his last summer, excuse me, because then he's out of contract. So next summer it's over either way. You hope so, but yeah, he's on loan, no contract termination, just on loan. Gremio apparently are paying the wages. Maybe that's a good thing, not completely, but we're getting a fee for him, maybe 1 million or so, that will balance it out. But I mean, these are the things we need to avoid. Investing in players that cost us 70 plus million euros. We almost spent 30 million euros on wages, and what Julian told me, we got like around 7.57, 8 million euros in loan fees. Like, that's horrendous business, and you cannot have that again. McKennie, Nico Shira saying that he can leave for 50 million euros. Do I think he's gonna leave right now? No. I think he's gonna leave on a free, because I don't see Comoli giving what he wants unless his agent and him are waking up and again are saying we're lowering our demands, and Comoli is saying, okay, I'm gonna protect some value over here and I'm gonna add some years. But other than that, he's leaving on a free, because there's no suitors for him. Shocking that nobody is jumping on the McKennie situation, even though many believe he's all that good. If you can pick him up for 50 million, then surely a lot of teams would have been in right now. But there's no offer, there's no real talks, for obvious reasons, in my opinion, because of his demands, and he's not worth what he's asking for, and Klopp's know that. And yeah, again, one of those players that might leave on a free. Vlahovic chilling at the club, leaving on a free. So we're leaving a lot of money on the table, and it's not all Comoli's fault. But to keep them all happy and be nice for them, you create a situation like this where they're all happy to be at the club. Even if they don't play, they get the money, they're not being pushed to leave the club, etc. And then you create this situation where you're trying to bring in transfers, but it's impossible because the players you want to move out, for example, do not want to move out because they don't have the feeling that, oh my god, we need to leave, otherwise we're not going to play. They're pushing our out of here. They're allowing us to chill. They're allowing us to be part of this, even though we're not really part of this. And everybody knows it. We're not going to play much. We're out of contract. I mean, yeah, that's the summer of 2025 for the season 25-26. It's disappointing, really disappointing, because it's not all in our control, not all in our hands. But yeah, you need to accept it and hope that tomorrow or today something pops up and it starts kicking off. But it's already too late. The damage has already been done. Anyways, in the comments, let me know what you think about all of this. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you guys soon again. Ciao.